WTF happened in March 2025. We have a lot of stuff to digest. Main news were some massive teasers for a crazy content update. We will have like new castle skins, new monk skins. The list of changes is really, really long. Just to give you the major things here, there will be a crazy change when it comes to infantry updates. So they will be cheaper, they will move faster, all the upgrades for them will change. And then one of the biggest things probably was the massive switch for Elite Jaguar Warriors. Like they could get up to like 31 attack now. Yeah, lots of balance changes. Lots of people like that new design here with Flemish Militia. And yeah, the list is really long. Redesign when it came to Chinese as well, with like new units there. Yeah, will be really interesting to see how that one develops. I will link it down below in case you missed it. Then we had one of the early developers of the game. Basically, I think, well, maybe we can call him the major brain behind Assembler Studios, Sandy Peterson. Is really getting active on Twitter right now, or X, and sharing a lot of stories. For example, from the old days, what happened, how they redesigned cavalry, for example, because pathing was so bad. Then we had him also talking, that was a crazy story, some knew that one, about Age of Empires 3, and like he's sharing more insights there. And that was the big story that I was thinking about. When it came to the first expansion, they were only thinking about Spanish Aztecs, Huns, and Mayans. And then someone at Microsoft said, well, StarCraft is really, really popular. They sold 3 million copies. And then they gave the team 5 weeks to basically rush the Koreans into the game. And they delivered. And that was pretty sick. And yeah, I will link his account. He is talking about a lot of stuff, but maybe you will find the post that you like about Age of Empires there. A lot of behind the scenes that feel really nice. Then we have Jordan, who did barely stream in 2024, suddenly becoming active here again. As you can see at the very bottom, 2023. Some last streams, then 2024 we had one single stream, and now before the Garrison actually squeezed in some streams, then was at the Garrison and did some analysis there, even did 2 casts, and now streamed some after it, had really good viewer numbers, enjoyed it quite a bit, he said, and is now, well, at least not ruling out competing for future tournaments. Jordan, for everyone who's super new to the community, used to be a top 3 player for a very long time, community favorite. And talking about his role at the Garrison, he was an analyst there. We also had a big $40,000 tournament there that in the end went to Hera. 5-4 in a really, really entertaining final. Leary 3-4 lead for him at one point. Hera 3 wins, Leary 4 wins. That I think makes it 19 series in a row that Hera won against Leary, and I think now 8 or 9 offline finals lost for Leary. Like 0-9 for Leary now, I believe. So pretty brutal. But yeah, that was one of the very enjoyable finals that we had in quite some time. So it felt like Hera could have lost there. As you can see the scoreline. Exciting times ahead, especially like you see the 3-0s here, the 3-1s, and with all the dominance that we had with Hera. But those sets were way closer than we sometimes thought. Kingston getting his first win on LAN, something to pick up. Hart sadly played with a fever, not much he can do there, couldn't really perform to his best level, he felt like. Then there were a lot of side events. One of them was not by niliHi. Screwed that up twice. Running before that beat freaking Andy. Running together with Target won the 2v2 event as well. Which brings us to more about the Garrison, because I will also give you the game of the month with that. And Tiramis actually did a crazy review. It was Tato versus Hera, one of the best games I've seen in a very long time. People called it the game of the month, upgraded to game of the year, and he did a review of this.
Advantage of the Persians. But behind this weak attack, Hera is making his first crucial move. Monks come out of his monastery to collect 4 of the 5 available relics. In the safety of his religious walls, those artifacts will provide him with a slow but steady.
And it's like storytelling, and he gives you all the ideas about what bracket stage we are in, advances, and then basically how people...
Although greater in number, the Persian citizens are too often raided to maintain a steady income of resources. The war of attrition begins.
And then you can simply see like why this game was so crazy, and yeah, we had the massive battles included there as well. And yeah, really nice storyline there. So if you want to see that one packed in 11 minutes, I will link that one down below from Tiramis channel. Then we are jumping over to a tournament that got a bit overshadowed by the Garrison simply because it was squeezed around, and it was called Wallhalla, a $10,000 tournament. Hera and niliHi missing, but all the other pros were basically playing it, and the Viper won it in the end against ACCM. Good run here by freaking Andy, beating Cito, for example, and beating Winchester on the way, which was quite nice. So Rakoma Balls was a really crazy set if you want to rewatch that one as well. Lewis having a 3-2 win against Stark, something I want to mention. Also antagonist beating Tato. So a lot of upsets in this one for sure. I think Running was the finalist last edition. So yeah, lots of really interesting sets, and maybe something for the tournament coordinator to think to give this tournament a bit of less overlap with other tournaments for the future. And yeah, game of the month, that was the thing that I already showed you, that Tiramis video. That was Tato versus Hera on Coastal Mountain. And look ahead, we have the 4v4 Black Forest tournament happening. That's called Masters of Rage Forest. Qualification is basically done, and we are getting there. Finals will be on the 20th of April. And then we have $70,000 tournament 1v1 Warlords happening. And that will be the qualification. Should be pretty interesting there when it comes to the esport aspect. And also, at some point over the next time, we will get balance changes and obviously the PS5 release drop, plus the DLC. So like lots of stuff happening for sure. And clip of the month, we have that packed into one crazy game that might have been one of the highlights of Age of Empires. We'd simply have to say it. It was the same tournament, the Garrison, Hera versus Mr. Yo, and we had 2 incredible scenes happening here in the same game.
So I guess 66%. They haven't won every game. Okay, here we go. Is the map going to nerf Hera? No. What?
Just, no way!
If the scout's around, that king's still going down. The scout is chasing. The scout is chasing. The scout is on the way. The scout is on the way. But wait, Yo is to be careful here. You don't want to lose your scout. Hera will block, and everything's fine. Hera's taunting him. He's like, you can't get me. And don't lose your scout, Yo. Don't lose your scout, Yo. Don't get baited. No! I can't believe Yo let him do that. Yo is laughing. He knows he just got...
Incredible. And that was not the highlight of... that I was talking about. Because the actual real highlight is, look at this. Hera pop 160, 94 villagers, skirms light cav. The only way to win late game against Bohemians, as you can see on the minimap, he's completely getting pushed back, ran his king 3 times, is to get to the king snipe. That's the only way to win this game still for Hera.
He should see this.
Garrisoning.
The king is on the move.
That's why we called this tournament.
There is another army swooping in from the other side.
No way, no way,
if
no way,
this
no way,
actually happens, I will lose my mind. There's no way. There is no way. There is no way it's gonna die. It's gonna die because it got hit, and it will not pack to the tower. Hera does it. That was absolutely unbelievable. The trebs were a setup. The trebs were a setup, niliHi. And the king, when a king is told to garrison somewhere, the second it is hit by anything, it will stop. We've seen that before. That was unbelievable. That was unbelievable.
Truly unbelievable there. Yeah, the tournament provided a lot of good scenes, and that one was probably a game that we will talk for many years to come. Yeah, that's it from me for the recap of March. This was recorded a week before you will see it, so if I miss something, I will squeeze it in to the next month. That's it from me. Goodbye. Temple lovers.